Well, hey everybody, this is Robert and welcome to Outbreak News TV. And today we're going to take a look at the Chikungunya Epidemic in Reunion Island. Well, Reunion is an island in the Indian Ocean. It's about 400 miles east of Madagascar and about 100 miles southwest of Mauritius off the east coast of Africa. The French Overseas Department has a population of some 900,000 people. Now, since our last report on Outbreak News Today, ARS La Réunion, the health department there, reported an additional 1,766 indigenous chikungunya cases. This is about an 18% increase compared to the previous week, when they saw about 1,300 chikungunya cases. Well, this puts the epidemic total at 5,041 locally acquired chikungunya cases during the first 2 months of the year, and almost 5,200 cases since last August when the epidemic began. Now, the southern municipalities are the most affected on the island. They account for about 3/4 of all cases since August of last year. However, over the past few weeks, an increasing incidence of viral circulation has been noted in the west and north zones. So the top part of the island that you see there, where St. Denis would be, the capital city, St. Lau and St. Paul are all seeing an increase in cases now also. Now, the possible effects of Cyclone Garance on the circulation of the virus could be visible in coming weeks, authorities advise. Now, the hospital situation remains under control, fortunately, and to date, there have been 20 hospitalizations that required more than 24 hours of care. Now, the passage of Cyclone Garance was accompanied by heavy rains and persistent heat. These are ideal conditions for the proliferation of mosquitoes, which are vectors of chikungunya and its relative dengue fever. Reunion Islanders must be extra vigilant and adopt the right actions. For example, eliminating stagnant water. Empty any objects that could accumulate water around your home. Check and maintain plants and containers that may retain water. Treat and empty unused inflatable pools. Check gutters and septic tanks. Cover cisterns and water reserves with cloth or mosquito netting. And beware of waste and bulky items, like garbage left in gardens or on public roads, become breeding grounds for mosquitoes. Care must be taken to dispose of it properly to limit the risk. In addition, you want to protect yourself from bites. During school holidays and while waiting for the waste to be removed, they recommend adopting the right reflexes to avoid mosquito bites, which include applying repellents, the use of mosquito nets, the use of insecticides, and wearing long, light-colored clothing. Now, the High Authority for Health on the island has contacted the Ministry of Health and the Access to Care to make its recommendations in the use in Reunion of the IXCHIQ vaccine. That's IXCHIQ. That's the new Valneva vaccine for chikungunya, in an attempt to quell this epidemic that's really, really roaring through the island. The HAS recommends that the IXCHIQ vaccine be used in Reunion to prevent the occurrence of serious forms of the disease. It recalls that vaccination must not reduce the preventive measures already enforced. So everything that I mentioned before, cleaning up the garbage, using insecticides, using repellents, even if you have the vaccine, those other things must remain in place to limit the proliferation of mosquitoes and to protect yourselves from mosquito bites. Take into account the number of doses of Chick vaccine available in the short and medium term. The HAS, that's the High Authority for Health, recommends vaccinating as a priority and in order the following groups who have never had an infection with chikungunya virus. These include people 65 years and older, particularly those with comorbidities, for example, high blood pressure, diabetes, cardiovascular issues, respiratory issues, renal, hepatic, and neurovascular disease, among several. In addition, people aged 18 to 64 with comorbidities should also be put on that list. The HAS is also adding vector control professionals to the list of populations eligible for the short-term vaccination due to a higher risk of contamination. Furthermore, vaccination is not recommended for pregnant women as it is contraindicated for people with immunodeficiencies. Chikungunya is a disease that's transmitted to humans through mosquito bites. In reunion, the tiger mosquito, or Aedes albopictus, as pictured here, is the main vector for chikungunya. What are the symptoms of chikungunya? Well, there's fever that may be associated with headaches or not, joint and or muscle pain, that's a big symptom, nausea and vomiting, red patches or bumps on the skin, severe fatigue, irritations, eye pain, and conjunctivitis. Now, some forms of chikungunya can be very serious, leading to hospitalization and rarely, but it happens, death. Health officials say special monitoring is recommended for vulnerable people. For example, the elderly, people with neurological diseases, people with chronic cardiorespiratory disease, diabetics, people with high blood pressure, and pregnant women. Once a person has contracted the chikungunya virus and upon recovery, they develop lasting immunity against future infections. They therefore cannot contract the virus for a second time. In some patients, rheumatological type manifestations persist for several months or even years, although the chikungunya virus is no longer present in the body. So, on the website, outbreaknewstoday.substack.com, I've been following this outbreak, this now an epidemic, since the beginning. So you can see past stories on the website. And right now, 5,000 indigenous chikungunya cases on that tiny island in the Indian Ocean. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on this because it's really, really getting bad. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. And if you like what you saw, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time on Outbreak News TV.